Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division 2 video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you a 2 versus 2 on Beshankovichy, and in this one I'm going to be playing with the 15th Infantry Scots on the Allied side. On my team I'm joined by Tiny Rick, who's going to be using a Juggernaut 3rd Guards Tank Corps, and on the Axis side we have a couple of decent players, Theoman222 and Fufu Bear, who are going to be playing with the 116th Panzer and Gruppe Hartneck divisions. So we're actually quite spread out on this map. It's pretty decent for a 2v2. It's a 2v2 sized map, so it's perfect for this kind of matchup, and we'll see how the division works in this case. I'm going to have a Churchill 7 go through the left-hand side. Actually, I might choose to bring in a Crocodile instead. That would suit the terrain a bit better, because if there's any infantry either side, it can use its flamethrower. I might also assist that with an AVRE. I don't use the AVREs enough, so we'll bring one of those in. Maybe it can do some damage. Alongside those, we are going to bring in a rifle leader to that left-hand side. It is going to be coming in the Lloyd carrier. Should probably change that out to something else if I can, but either way, that will do for now. And we shall also bring up some field engineers to go in either side, so we'll need probably a couple for the right and one for the left. That'll do. So we'll just have them come up to the edge there. One can go in the left hand side, and I'll probably bring in an extra unit of rifles that can go up the main road and unload there. I'm going to need the aircraft, or going to need the leader in this tree line here to assist the AT gun. And going to need another one here for this AT gun. And I'm also going to start with command. So we're going to start with a Spitfire just so we can shoot down any recon for Tiny Rick. And then we'll probably just spread out with rifles in the meantime. We're not going to be able to go too far forwards. So I'll probably try and push for these trees with a cheap rifle squad, but not sure they'll make it. But if we manage to get there, it will cause a little bit of a bulge in the front line that might make them worry about that squad more than they have to. Otherwise, it's just going to be defense group. These defense group, they have 2 brain guns. They're decent at shooting at infantry over the open areas. And actually, honestly, I might need to get myself a sniper or something at the start. Maybe I could do that instead. Take away this defense group, and we'll bring in a sniper to defend this. So I'll bring in a sniper here and unload it on the edge of this tree line, so as he moves forwards he still maintains recon information down these roads. And I'll have the Jeep just go into the trees here so that it can optimize its range engagement without being shot from miles away, therefore actually being useful. So that's about it. Just a big push on the left hand side to try and contest this area, which is much easier for me to contest. Meanwhile, I'll hopefully be covered by the 17 pounder from here, although I might get mortared. Same deal with this one. We're just going to have to see how our opponents deal with that, because they might bring in fighters, they could smoke them off, they could actually RT them. I'll have to wait and see, but I'm likely to have them on like return fire just in case, but I'm good to go. So let's tell our opponents and see if they're ready to. In the meantime, I'll just tuck up my units. It's important to keep your units on roads, and at the start, if you have the chance, just do what I'm doing. Just left click and drag on each unit to move them up nice and close to the line in which you can deploy from. And that way you get a little bit of a jump on your opponents if they haven't done it themselves. Gives you that little bit extra distance on your units. Pretty nice. Yeah, I've got to keep this commander unit in range of both of the 17 pounders. Those 17 pounders will then both be 2-star at the start, and therefore we'll be able to chew up enemy tanks if we see them, although I don't expect my opponents to be throwing tanks into the open willy-nilly. It's going to be probably more of an closer range engagement on the left-hand side. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Now we will have to commit some stuff to the center. I think Tiny Rick will have a hard time actually contesting this point. It's very difficult for us to contest actually, just because of the terrain either side. So maybe in phase B I'll bring up a 17 pounder or something to these tree lines, and then we can maybe make a push from that. But for now, just got to try and make as much ground as I can. I might just go straight for the town here actually. Let's unload that sniper. I need to make sure that all of my units are automatically unloading. And you see my sniper there already spotting a few units, which is good. Going to keep my rifle leader on the backside of these trees, just so that it doesn't fall under the same mortar fire. And I'm actually going to start moving forwards this commander a little bit. Let's just unload these rifles, get them into the building there. At close range, I might be able to do something. I just need my willies to get out of the way of that machine gun fire. Well, that's not going to happen. So we're just going to unload the rifle leader here. Yeah, I thought that one would be out of range. That's why I'm bringing the commander forwards. That is a T-34-42. That's fine. My rifle's happily engaging the ersatz at close range. Should be able to kill off that squad nice and easy. And then what I'm going to do is probably bring in some Daimlers, actually. They would be pretty decent for dealing with this little push here. So let's bring up a couple Daimlers there, and I'll bring in some infantry as well that can put some pressure over here. Bring in a couple defense group. Just need to get out of that compound, keep pushing up a little bit. We might bump into the T-34 if I'm not too careful, but we need to get away from the mortar fire. Okay, never mind, they've been pinned. I'll tell them to fall back for now. Alright, let's start making a move through the left-hand side here. All my infantry's in position, ready to go. We're not quite in range to give the extra leader bonus over here, so I'm going to move over slightly. I might have my leader unit come to the other side, actually. That would be a better way to do it. Oh, nice shot there. Onto the VK. Getting some shots onto the right Jaeger. Right Jaeger actually pretty decent at close range. At longer range, not so good. Just gonna blow up these Kosaken. And I'll have the AVREs and stuff fire away. Lovely. Right, we're going to move that back because it's taking mortar fire already. Oh, it's already dead. Would you look at that? Yeah, so just as expected, they do have mortars, and therefore I'm going to have to be very careful with my other AT gun. But what I can do is bring up a Churchill 7. That's what I'm going to do to kind of blunt any use of the T-34s. Alright, the AVRE is going to push up on the left-hand side, I think. Might be able to find something to kill here. I can always fire position as well, so I could fire position into the trees. That would be a good idea. That'd be a really good use, actually, of the AVRE. So I think we pinned them down there, possibly. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe not. But I will fire the spigot again, I think. This isn't in line of sight of the AVRE there. Alright, we surrendered them, that's fine. Let's not fire another spigot mortar into there if we don't have to. Okay, here comes the bombers. Let's just reverse, or give the reverse order before those bombs hit so they can continue away. Wow, they actually killed the AVRE with that. That's pretty, I would say, lucky, honestly. It's very uncommon that would happen. Interesting. Either way, we're going to have to fall back from that engagement. No point engaging close range infantry with our longer range infantry. Just going to have to overwhelm that left side with field engineers. So we are kind of just stuck for the time being at the 12 to 12. I might be able to put a little bit of pressure on here with a Churchill 7, so going to bring that up. I think my Daimlers did a good job here of killing whatever it was that was in our way. Time for them to fall back, I think. They've only got 20 armor, so they're pretty susceptible to these strafing runs. There's not much chance for the Tiger to come forwards and do much damage, but we might be able to snipe that VK. Nope, that's not going to happen. We're all good for now, though. My Churchill 7 arriving here. I might just make a push across the open with a bunch of rifles. Bring in some smoke with this mortar. I'll bring in a couple mortars, and yeah, we can smoke off the left-hand side against that Tiger that will inevitably peek its head over. I would bring in my fighter, but it's not really logical to do so at the moment. We'll bring in some AA here, and that way we can just prevent those fighters from being a problem. Looks like the man's already, or Tiny Rick's already got the same idea, but that's good. We'll have 2 AA in that position, which is nice. Looks like my rifles got found there, and they're going to be pinned down by the Panzergrenz. My sniper got taken out as well, so that's not very good. But let's start bringing in the rifles that we're going to charge across with. Churchill 7 in the meantime can pin down those Panzergrenz nice and easy. That's the rifles gone. Bring those in. I'm bringing them in next to the commander so they have the extra veterancy, therefore they fire faster when you give them the order. Let's maybe make a little bit of a push towards these buildings. It's all good. And I might try and make a push across here as well. Bring in a couple of rifles behind those, and we'll make a push, especially with the support of the Churchill 7 that is arriving. So that's all good. Oh, these guys have arrived, so let's go take out the Reitjäger on the left-hand side. I'm actually pretty light on recon infantry, which could be a little bit of a problem. Either way, we are going to want to mortar those guys. He's got the same idea, he's going to smoke me off and then charge across the open with some infantry. That's okay. Gotta be a little bit careful here because we don't want our Bofors to be like in line of sight of enemy units. I'm just going to tuck it into the edge of the trees here. It'll be able to fire forwards, but as aircraft fly overhead, they won't be able to hit it anymore, which will suck. But either way, that's all good. If I can pin these Panzergrenz, I might just run the rifles through them so they surrender. I guess I could maybe bring in the Spitfire. I could bait them over the AA actually, that'd be a good idea. So this should work out fine, I hope. This Panzergrenz might attack us. Oh. That was cheeky, I just hit my own... God damn, I just hit my own unit there, that's annoying. Alright, this is fine. Well, I should be able to kill both of these. As long as my Spitfires are fast enough. I don't think they are. I think they're going to get away. It's kind of frustrating. Let's just unload these guys and move them up. My Spitfires can break off and come back. Nice. Okay, well we surrendered those guys. I can probably get rid of those as well. Let's just strafe the Panzergrenz, that's all good. Make a little bit of a push. And I'm going to strafe these ones as well. And then I'm going to have these guys suicide run across the bridge. Okay, so we lost a unit of infantry on the left. I'm just going to bring in the rest of my field engineers to maintain control over that area. The Jagdpanzer, it's a little bit of a problem. Let's just unload the Bofors and move that up. But now I have more AT guns, so I can bring one of those in to accompany the Churchill. And I probably need one on the left-hand side, honestly. If I've got enough infantry there to sort of accompany it, I can probably just sneak it up to the edge. And then we take full control over this flag, which would be great. Right, it's currently flying towards most Spitfires, so we're all good. Okay, it's dead already. That's fine. Oh, my Churchill died. I didn't even see that. Whoops. Well, I'm a crocodile, technically, but yeah. I can bring in another Churchill now in this position. I'm just going to move my field engineers across. And we'll keep strafing that unit. I'll probably strafe the Jagdpanzers while I'm here, because we should just be able to surrender that. I think I've run out of Hispano ammo on the Mark 9 there. Oh shit, that just recovered. Okay, well I didn't expect it to recover, so goodbye field engineers I guess. Elsewhere I think we're okay, let's just unload the 17 pounder and get it into the trees there. And we're going to need some more rifles to push across. I'll bring in some motorized rifles to follow them up, but we'll just continue to cover that. Move this defense grid back in the meantime. Nice. Okay, good. We did manage to take that point, so we're now 14 to 10. I need to have this 17 pounder move up. My Churchill's currently bailed, but it's still struggling to penetrate our front armour now because it probably ran out of APCR shells. I'll bring in a supply to fix that up because it's most likely that we're going to have a chance to, which is good. What is this firing at? Oh, it actually has line of sight onto the VK. Interesting. And my leader died, so we'll have to replace him. I'll bring in a Churchill 4 command to just sit with the other Churchill 4 here. I think that's fine. Should blow that. Right, yeah, get to smithereens. Let's just stop that where it is. I'm not sure what it's being shot at by, but okay. My 17 pounder comes up here. It should be able to just annihilate the Hetzer, at least. Maybe not the Tiger, but we will see. Oh, damn it. Alright, I'll leave that with my mortars then. And hopefully this gets the shot. 85% accuracy right now. Crew killed, nice. Shoot at the Tiger, please. Engine damage. Nice. Get the kill. 100% penetration, 100% hit chance. Yes, please. Nice ambush there. Nice ambush indeed. Alright, let's unload these fellas. Let's push across that bridge. Bring in a Tempest, shoot down this bomber. I should be able to, I was going to say, I should be able to outrun the ME-109s, but that was well-timed fighters there. I thought I'd have enough time to kill the HE, but I didn't. I mistimed that a little bit. I should have just let it sit on the HE, so at least I traded an aircraft. That would have been the smarter way to do it. Alright, well we took out that AT gun. It struggled to penetrate my Churchill, so we're managing to get through there. Let's bring up now a Troy Polston to kind of cover the center, I guess. And I'm going to need more infantry on the left-hand side. So I'm going to bring in some motorized rifles now, which have Piats, so that we have, like, sort of some AT threat at close range here. Actually, if I move that to the edge, just put it on return fire for now, so it doesn't fire at the looks. I'll wait for the looks to get out of line of sight, and then I'll fire at the Tiger. Right, we should be good now. 94% penetration at this range. Bit careless, also showing side armor. Incendiary shot. Nice. Just keep moving forwards. Get a second shot off. Nothing he'll be able to do. Oh yeah, I need to make sure I hit that looks, because that's going to chew up my 17 pounder. Oh, are we going to get it? 100% hit chance at this range. Okay, crew panic. Good. Perfect. My Churchill 4 here is using its APCR shells on the Tiger, so that's fine. Alright, we've got all the time in the world, so let's just move the 17 pounder across, and as that Tiger runs away we can pick it off on the way back. Alright, let's bring up some more Churchills here then. I'll bring up a commander to go with my Churchill 7. So far, not bad. I do need to try and take out that AA if we can. That's nice. Okay, we got that. We've actually taken control of all of these trees. So let's bring in the rifles here as well. Just going to dominate this left-hand side. That's the plan. Let's push for the shot onto the Tiger E now. May as well kill it off before it runs away. There we go. And we'll continue to move that so that it's not in the same position to be mortared. Alright, let's unload the Tripolston and move that into position. My rifles are holding down the fort here, which is nice. I'll get my motorized rifles into a closer range position. My mortars happily hitting the Opel Blitz munition there, try and blow that up. Also might get a free kill onto these Jaeger Pioneers. Okay, never mind. I'll bring in both of my Spitfires and we'll try and strafe those. My motorized rifles have arrived anyway, so we can move them up and through, and I'll have my half-tracks at close range. Alright, so that's pinned down that unit. You can see by the way the front line moves. We should be fine, because we have the Bofors here. I'm also going to bring up another Tripolston on this side. That's cool. One thing I might need to do is just attack this with mortars, or maybe I could smoke that. But then again, my Churchill should be fine to kill that at close range. I do also have the 17 pounder. It might be smarter to use the 17 pounder first to kill that T-34. Okay, in the center, we're going to want to cover off our current positions. So I'm actually going to purchase a couple 17 pounders, which will be quite far back, but should be able to definitely assist from these locations. I want it to come this way so it doesn't reveal itself. Because if it drives up here, then it's most likely they're going to see it with any recon that's in the town. I'd rather keep it hidden. So that's the plan. Alright, let's push through here. There's going to be some Jaeger Pioneers still. So we've got to take care of that. 17 pounders sneaking its way up. I'm going to move my field engineers up and keep them on return fire so they don't reveal themselves with the rifles. And I might just come in and strafe that Panzergren in the center, since I don't think they have their fighters in the sky right now. They're probably on cooldown because they just sent them back. There is some AA on the left-hand side, though. Well, they're saying that. I think those Panzergrens are already dead, but we'll give them a little strafe. Yeah, this one can go back. There is AA on that side as well, so... Well, at least that gave us a little bit of information. Let's allow that to fire. Bear getting a bit careless with the Opel Blitz here. He's not unloading his infantry in time. So he's going to lose one. Let's move my half-tracks up. That's just some Kosaken. They are recon infantry, they don't have any AT, so we can just mow them down with the machine guns on the half-tracks. AT guns nearly in range of the T-34, so we should just be able to snipe that. Beautiful. And looks like Theoman's going to surrender. Tiny Rick has managed to push all the way forwards, and job well done. And as we get in, we're not even into phase C yet, which is when Tiny Rick's division really comes online. And yeah, you can see Tiny Rick here. I don't think he has a single IS. Oh no, he does have his command IS on the field, but they're supported by the M4s. And apparently they've done work against the Panthers. I'm surprised that Theoman didn't try and push back with the amount of Panthers that he had there. But we've taken full control of this left-hand side. Another Kosaken coming in from Bear. But they're going to get annihilated by the M5 half-tracks. We'll move up the 17 pounder on the left as well. Well, there's not really much point in pushing across here against what could potentially be like more Hetzers and Tigers. Oh, we might be able to make it work, especially if I cover it with more 17 pounders. We've got like 12 more now in phase C. I definitely weight my 17 pounders towards phase C, so that's kind of what we're trying to do here. I'm gonna try and get these AT guns into position. There's a little gap through the houses there that could work, so we'll try and do that. This Churchill, I'm probably going to tuck it up nice and close behind the houses. And then we'll have my command Churchill. I don't want it to try and cross the bridge just yet. I'm surprised that could be seen though. I'm not sure if they were in the building or not. By the way, the AI that's taking control of Theoman's probably going to suicide most of its units forwards. You can see the Panzerwerfer here and the Mobile Falcon actually charging forwards into range of like AT guns and stuff, so unfortunately the quality of the AI that does take over isn't the best. We could try and make a little bit of a push across the open here. It's not really covered by much though, that's the problem. So, yeah. I mean, we can just bring in a bunch of Churchills and maybe make a slow crawl across the open. Bring in a command to back it up. I'll bring in one of the Churchill 6 commands with their extra HE shells. And then we need a bunch of rifles as well. Just make a big old concerted push towards the town. I think that'll be nice and fun if Fufu Bears sticks around. Well, we do have 4 minutes to make that happen, so not very long. See how this Tripolston does. I haven't actually seen these in action yet. Hopefully it will show us how good it can be. Wow. Well, that was pretty strong. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if that was entirely the Tripolston. There was also an M15 here and the Bofors, but still, that plane went down very quickly. Short burst from the Tripolston there really did the job. Oh, my 17 pounders catching out the Tiger E from the left-hand side. That's really nice. Let's now make a push across, since we can. And that's nice. Yeah, Tiger's taken care of. Going to bring my Spitfire over to the left-hand side now. Bomber coming in from Fufu Bet. Let's just mortar these units. I could just smoke it all, but I'll do that in a bit when my tanks arrive. Get another Tempest in, just in case we don't shoot that down. Because I am going to have to evac that one due to the AA. Well, my Tripolston... Yeah, my Tripolston took it down. Alright, well, that works. Well, I also do have another Bofors there, so it's not like just that. Oh, looks like Fufu Bear's going to try the same thing. We're going to butt heads right in the middle of this field. That's going to be really cool. Alright, let's strafe these infantry on the ground. Actually, what I might do, I could just bring in a Typhoon and hit the SDKF Z71. That'd be a good way to get rid of that. Let's, in the meantime, move these into cover. That's a crew panic from the old Panzerbuchse. Oh, that's harsh. Oh, we managed to pin my Typhoon. That's not good. That's not good at all. And I'll have my Tempest come in so that it stops shooting at my Typhoon. And maybe that will actually kill it, because that does have 420 mils. Yep. Yeah, well. Good distraction there. Bait and switch, boys. Bait and switch. And that's going to prevent those Panther Gs from pushing forwards. So we're back in position on the right-hand side. These can probably just continue to quick hunt up the road. Although I don't necessarily want them to continue the whole way up the road. I'll probably have one quick hunt the whole way up. The rest can sort of stay behind. The one that is going up the middle, actually I probably want the first one on the left to be followed by the Churchill 4 command there. Oh, never mind. Game over. Major victory, 24 minutes, 32 seconds. Not bad. 2,485 kills to 890 losses. The kills with those 17 pounders were really nice, especially when I managed to push it through the tree there and kill the Hetzer and the Tiger that were in the town. That was really, really nice. But great job by Tynarek on the right-hand side. Definitely dismantled Theoman's 116th. Maybe Theoman didn't have enough Panthers in A to really stop the sheer amount of Shermans that can be brought in. But as we hit Phase C anyway, the Juggernaut division does come online, and I believe Tynarek told me that he has 2 cards of the IS-2 1944s in Phase C. So that means that he has a lot of tanks, like a lot of heavy tanks that are very difficult to kill. So even if he did fall back in Phase A, he would have something to push back with. But I was surprised to look over on Theoman's side and see all of those Panthers kind of sat there. But without recon information, it would be very hard to push up on Shermans at close range. So it looked a lot more difficult, or it looked a lot more easy than it actually was, like from Theoman's perspective, I'm sure. So that's the 17 pounder that did well. Killed the Tiger E, killed the Jagdpanzer. We managed to move it so it didn't get mortared, and then killed the Tiger E as well. Lucky to kill the VK actually, because that 20mm is absolutely horrible at close range, just disgusting. Tempest strafing the SDK-FZ71 is really nice, just baiting it with the rocket plane and then strafing it with the 20mm instead. I'm going to have to do that more often, because that was actually a really legit move. In terms of what destroyed us, well, the VK on the left killed many of my field engineers, because I think my Crocodile died early on. What actually killed the Crocodile? Oh, it got hit by a Panzerfaust from the right Jaeger. Okay, that's what happened. The thing is, with the Crocodile, I only have 160 meter range on its Panzerfaust, or on the flamethrower. The Panzerfaust has 120 meter range, so you're playing with 40 meters, which in Steel Division 2 is not a lot. Like, it would be nice if the flamethrowers on vehicles were increased in range a bit, because you're literally playing with fire. Like Panzerschrecks have a longer range than your flamethrower, so I mean, that kind of makes sense maybe in the grand scheme of things, but like in terms of realism. But then again, it kind of reduces the effectiveness of flamethrower vehicles. And I mean, I guess that I don't know what the effectiveness of them was in real life, but this was a nice kill from Fufu Bear in the early game. Bombed my AVRE to death right from the start. I was really having fun with the Spigot and Mortar there as well, because we were like fire positioning to pin down some of the infantry nearby. But yeah, that was a really fun game. Shows off a bit of the 15th Infantry and how they work, I guess. Definitely rely on those 17 pounders. As always, make sure to check out the description, where I will leave a link to my Google document that has all of my deck codes for all of my divisions. So if you need a bit of a cheat sheet, go check that out. Other things are, make sure to go follow me on twitch.tv/VulcanHDGaming. And finally, if you would like to play with me in the future, check out my Discord, because that's definitely the best way to get involved. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.